Hey, it's Buddy Lee. Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to have some fun with Tigra in Act 7.4.2, and what I was looking to do here is test out the new synergy Tigra has with Kraven. So this synergy gives Tigra an extra 1500 critical rating when neutralize is applied. We're also going to use the Kitty synergy, and then we have Hawkeye, whose synergy is going to help us out with the crossbones boss to prevent him from purifying debuffs. So for nodes on this path, we have Arcane Zeal, which gives Mystic Champions a passive prowess each time they fill a bar of power. Then Power Shield 2, so we do 90% less damage from regular hits and 200% increased damage for special attacks for each bar of power used. Then we have Turtling, which gives the defender an armor buff if you don't land a hit within 6 seconds, and that's going to feed into the static defense node, so we don't want to let the defender get that armor buff. So first up is this CGR, and he's going to activate an armor buff on the first hit, so I'll slow play it until that armor falls off so that we don't get a bunch of shocks on us, and then we can get to it. So now we want to bait out an SP1 and counter it with heavy, and then we'll have 2 prowess for our SP2. The Kraven synergy is really nice here, because watch these crits we get from the nodes. It's kinda crazy seeing these big yellow numbers from Tigra, since she's normally the queen of the big red numbers. Next up is Magneto, who's one of those great matchups for Tigra. I kinda messed up baiting out Magneto's SP1 here, so we just miss it, which takes us above a bar of power, and we just throw SP1. We didn't get as lucky with SP2 crits on this fight, but she still rips Magneto a new one. So against Cersei, you don't want to let her throw her heavy without neutralize active, because if she does, she gets her glancing, and this will make Tigra's senses fall off and throw off the fight. So we failed on that, and we are going to have to reactivate both senses. I do like the SP1 miss on Cersei. You dex the first hit, and then throw 2 lights into heavy miss and counter. We get off a really nice SP2, and then into a heavy, and then finish her off with an SP1. Next is Yondu, and against him, it's really nice if you're able to bait his heavy a lot, which we'll be trying to do in this fight. He played into those heavy baits nicely and we get into an SP2. This is going to push him to 2 bars of power, and I was thinking that missing his SP2 would give us enough power to get to our SP1, but it was short and we just have to throw our heavy. We throw one more SP2 and those big yellow crits do the job. Now it's Terrax, and for him we're going to bait heavies while his rock shield is active and counter those. He's more aggressive with his rock shield up, so it's pretty easy to bait out the heavies. The rock shield is going to be dealing some damage during this fight, but we're pretty healthy, so it's not a huge problem. We have one more fight on the path before taking on the crossbone boss, which will be against APOC. We do our 3 dashbacks and 3 lights to get into position for the miss and counter on APOC's SP1. We got crits on 5 of the 6 hits for that SP2 for a ton of damage. And then my tap didn't register for this last light attack, so I just hold heavy and go into SP1, and we finish with one more SP1. So for this crossbone fights, I took in Hawkeye because his synergy with Tigra reduces Purify ability accuracy by 80% for a short time after Neutralize is activated, which is going to allow us to stack ruptures almost as normal against his crossbones. He has this galvanized node where he will switch between 2 modes, and the first mode we can't hit his block or we get shocked, and in the second he'll be unblockable. I actually hit his block right away and we get a couple shock debuffs put on us, but as long as those don't KO us, we should be fine the rest of the way. We hit his block and beta heavy, which we counter, and that gets us to an SP2. Most of our ruptures are sticking, and the ones that he does purify, he isn't able to convert to Fury Busts because of the Neutralize. Two more heavies gets us to the last SP2, and she finishes off crossbones. So I don't think that the Kraven synergy is a huge game changer for Tigra, but this path is an example of where it's actually super effective by giving us that extra crit rating. Well, that's it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.